Hey guys, it's Charlie from Muscle of Charlie. I just woke up. I had a really night last night, but I'm up now, and I didn't know I want to have like a quick, easy mushroom recipe. Like if you have a bunch of mushrooms and you want something to just do really easily, this is awesome. So we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna show you how to make scrambled mushroom egg scramble by Charlie. Master Chef. Wait. It's the Charlie Mushroom Cooking Show. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we got our mushrooms. What I did is I just took some mushrooms that were not sellable anymore, and then I cut them up. And when I cut them up, I take the pieces I want, which is mostly I do the stems and everything. So you see, I cut the stems in about a quarter inch, and I just made sure the density was the same so they cook evenly. And then I've got my caps as well. Gave it a quick rinse, not too much to like soak them, but enough to just get them clean. The reason for that is because you want to clean any kind of produce you have. Even if it's organic, just clean it. Alright, after those are cut up, I have my burner over here. I don't have anything in there. I didn't put any butter or oil. What I'm gonna do is dry saute it. That's gonna do is it's going to shrink up the mushroom. It's gonna get rid of some of its juices so that I can add that oil and those flavors and everything else later, and then the mushrooms have some room in there to really mix together and cook well. At least that's my theory. I didn't go to culinary school though, so if that's not true, post in the comments and let me know. I've got my pan here, and I'm gonna take these and let me move this over here. Also, don't judge my kitchen. I will have an amazing one. If you guys should pay me a bunch of money so I can get a commercial kitchen. That would be sweet. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna toss these in. I'm taking the bits of the stem. I had a piopino or black poplar mushroom, and that's in here as well, just one of them. So their stems are really dense. It's kind of like really dense. It's a good meat something to just add a strong thing into your meal. And I'm setting those down, and I'm making sure that they're touching the plate. And you don't want to overcrowd the pan, but I fill it up pretty good. So like I kind of overdid it here, which I could just add more later while I'm cooking. But here, I'll show you this. This is what that looks like. Okay. So yeah, just like that's fine. If you put them all together, you'll soak out water. That way, if you're making like a soup, that would be fine. But I'm gonna try and crisp these up just a little bit. It's easier if you have less in your pan. Okay, so that's cooking at about a medium heat, about 5. And that's going to be sizzling. And so I'm listening for the sizzling. I'm like, okay, that's great. Glad that's happening. I'm going to let that sit for about 5-6 minutes or so. Then I'm going to go and try and flip them as best as I can. I let it go for a couple more minutes. And then towards the end of it, I'll show you what happens then. Actually, I was gonna pause the video right here. Now I'm not, because we're gonna go back over here. And we're gonna prepare our eggs. Dun dun dun. Oh gosh, it's gonna be amazing what we're doing here. I'm just kidding. This is just super simple. Okay, I have a bowl here, something to crack my eggs into. One second. Okay, so I've got this bowl and this clean towel that I'm going to dry off the bowl. And then, is this door running? Yes, I did. And I'm going to crack some eggs. So I think I'm going to make a bunch just because I want to make a bunch. So I'm going to do like, I don't know, 8 eggs. La 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 la. Cracking the eggs. if you guys like this video, let me know, and I can do more of these like super stupid, silly recipes, cooking things. Because a lot of people at the farmers market, they'll like ask me like what I do with them, and I'm like, dude, you just saute them and throw them into whatever you're cooking. Literally, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just making scrambled eggs, cooking the mushrooms separately because they do cook slightly differently than other things, obviously, with their water content and their texture. And then I just add it to whatever else. So over here, I hear on my stove that the mushrooms are starting to not sizzle quite as much. So I'm gonna just take the pan and my spatula. So I've got the mushrooms now, right? And I'm just gonna do one of these to flip them as best as I can. And then I'm gonna set it back down. And I'm gonna keep on cooking them. And I'm gonna let this cook a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna add some butter and oil, because right now it's still wet enough where it doesn't need the butter or oil yet. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs, 6, 7. All right, well let's do 8. Why not? Okay. So we've got 8 eggs in there, minus the eggshell. That's out of there. Okay, so what else do we want to do with our eggs? Oh, we need to stir them up. So just break up your eggs, and this is when you add your seasonings. I don't know what you guys like for your eggs, but for me, I like, salt and pepper, and then usually sometimes cayenne, and I'm gonna look over there and see what I actually have, but I don't really care that much either because I'm just trying to go in for the nutrition. Anyway, onion salt sounds awesome, and some, let's see, salt and pepper. Okay, so we got our seasonings. I'm gonna do the onion salt, like a boss, black pepper, and a little bit of a sea salt. Ooh. Actually, no, I just did onion salt. We don't need any more salt. Okay. I wish I had a spicy seasoning to go with this. I'm not seeing one. Oh wait, here we go. I've got. What do we have? No, we don't. Okay. Alright, that's alright. This will be fine. Yeah, okay, so seasonings are in there. I'm going to mix that in. If you guys have ever go to Walmart, buy chipotle peppers in an adobo sauce. That sauce, mixed with the cut up peppers, is really good. For sure. That's how I make my breakfast burritos. You can do this and do bulk breakfast burritos even with the mushrooms. And definitely with the mushrooms, it's like the whole point. And then you can freeze them and then just take them out and eat them every morning, and you get your daily nutrition of the beta glucans from the mushrooms, the good fiber which keeps you regular, and eggs and protein. So it's like the perfect burrito. But for now, we're just doing this egg scramble, and okay, so that's done. Mushrooms over here, looking pretty good. I'm not going to use the same thing to, well, actually, yeah, that's good. Anyway, okay, butter. We need some butter. Did I use all the other? Wow. I think I'm out of butter, guys. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Okay, so I've got some butter. Here's the butter. And we've got about, how many teaspoons do we got here? 1, 2, it's about 2 tablespoons of butter. Works for me. Okay, so now that these have been cooking for a while, I'm gonna set the butter in there. This is too much butter. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of butter for cooking the mushrooms. Toss that in there, put it back down, let the butter completely melt. And you can do that by like rubbing the butter around or whatever to make it go faster. I'm trying to do this fast so you guys don't just sit here listening to me ramble. But I also really like rambling. And by the way, my next class is at the end of the month. It's in it's either the 27th and on a Saturday, which is the last Saturday of this month. Oops. And that's a lot of fun, so check that out. I'll post a link to that. All right, so now that the butter's melted, the mushrooms themselves, they're cooking, they're feeling good. They're super excited because they're like, yes, we made it to our end goal of being digested. Hooray! We're gonna turn up the burner. I'm gonna turn it up to 8. I don't want to do it on high because if you do it on high, it can burn very easily. But I do want to try and crisp them up a little bit at the end. So I got it up to 8 right now on my stove. And I'm gonna let that go until it looks like it's getting super hot. just eyeballing it. Once I finish that, I will show you the next step. I guess, is it? All right. Okay, guys, we're back. The mushrooms are doing good. They cooked for another like 5 minutes on 8, and it kind of looks like this. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you see that like kind of crisp they got? It's not burnt, but it's definitely got that crisp on it. So I flipped it, and I'm letting that do that on the other side of most of them. You're not gonna get all of them, and you can pick them with your fingers or whatever to try and get in the best you can. I bet a real chef would be able to do that better, but you know, that's what it is. It's easy. I've got my mixture here of egg. We have 8 eggs that I mixed together. So, and then I seasoned it. And now I'm gonna just dump it. I'm literally gonna dump it into the pan. Okay. And if you had any other vegetables and stuff, you might want to cook those first and throw them in here. But right for this thing, it's just mushrooms and eggs. So. Okay. So now that it's in there, we're just gonna let it cook. I'm gonna turn it down to about probably 5, I guess, because I don't want the bottom to cook too fast. And this is just a scramble, so well, I guess it doesn't matter because it's a scramble. I'm just gonna start mixing it. La 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 la. At this point, while you're cooking, you just kind of you know make your eggs. And if you have some cheese is a good thing to add at the end. For me right now, I have Parmesan cheese, which is kind of a bummer. Like a white cheddar would be nice, or something else. But I'm gonna use this because I would rather have cheese than not in my scramble. And so we're mixing. So one of the things about eating mushrooms like daily is, first, it's a vegan replacement, and it's definitely a superfood. I don't know why mushrooms are not being called a superfood. It should be called. It's like they're like better than superfoods, honestly. There's this thing called, and I did not go to school for mycology. I wish I did. I'm an amateur mycologist, and maybe one day I'll be able to do that. But from what I understand, beta-glucans hold a lot of nutritional, bodily things that help to make your body function are in those beta-glucans. So you want to cook the mushrooms thoroughly so that you can get all of the compounds out of the beta glucans, and to do that you have to break down the chitin, and chitin is the cell wall of the mushroom, and it's really hard for our digestive systems to break it down. So when you eat just like raw mushrooms, it doesn't really I mean, it's fun and you can do it, but it's kind of pointless, and it can also make your stomach hurt if you have a weak stomach, just because it's hard to digest. So now that the eggs are about here, I'm going to add the Parmesan. I'm going to cut down a heat just a touch, and add some Parmesan. Okay, kind of mix that in, and yeah, there we go. There you have it, and you can season to taste now. But yeah, so that's how I make an easy mushroom egg recipe. So if you want to just buy a variety of mushrooms to try and see if they're tolerable for you, and the chances are they will be, because mushrooms are awesome. You can use them like vegetables, and then you get all these health benefits, and it'll help you live longer. So freaking put it in your diet. It's not that hard, and they're awesome. They are expensive though. So but the more people we know about mushrooms, the cheaper they will become, and they'll be more abundant and more available for people. So grow your mushrooms, support your local mushroom vendor at your local market. Support me. I have a tip jar thing online I'll link to. Take my classes. That's a huge support. And just let me know that you appreciate what I'm doing, because that makes me feel really good. All right, I'm Charlie again. Thanks. Bye.